Hey everybody, I know it's been a long time since our last video, but we're going to have a relatively short video right now, just really quickly on how to build triads. You should have this page finished by now, but just so you have a video for everything, this is the top part of the triad sheet, and it's all about how to build triads. The bottom part is identifying triads. So you have one sheet, there's two sections, top section and a bottom section. The top section is how to build triads, and the bottom section is identifying them. So if you check out the top section, we'll do a couple examples, and then I'm going to make a separate video about how to do inversions. But really quickly, this is the top part. So what you're going to see is you might see something like this. This is a note, and then some kind of identifier below. This note right here, we have in treble clef an A, and underneath we see a uppercase M, which means that it's major. Again, uppercase means major, lowercase means minor. So we have an uppercase M, which means major. So what they're looking for is for you to build a major triad off of an A. So what we do, first step, what you want to do is figure out, or imagine in your head, the key signature for that starting note. So imagine in your brain that you're in A major, and you have to figure out what kind of sharps or flats that key would have. That's your first step. So first step, figure out what the key signature would be for that bottom note. So since our first note is A, we're going to imagine in our brains, we're probably not in A major, but we're going to imagine in our brains that we're in A major to build this chord. So A major, we figure this out. Grab another piece of paper. We have our order of flats and sharps, which is the most important thing that you memorize ever. Memorize that thing. Use my sentence, use whatever, make up your own. I don't care as long as it is memorized. So the order of flats, you can memorize this, then just read it backwards. For sharps, it's up to you. Order of flats spells out a word. That word is bead, B-E-A-D, so you have bead, and then G, C, F. Here's our order of flats, B-E-A-D, G-C-F, bead, G-C-F. Our order of sharps is the flats backwards, or if you want something more exciting, like I apparently did when I was 9 years old, you can say funny cats give dogs an exciting bath. And that's going to be your order of sharps. Funny cats give dogs an exciting bath. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And that's the order of sharps. So to figure out what kind of sharps or flats you have in A major, you're going to use this order of sharps and flats. So we have an A. A is a sharp key because it doesn't have a flat before it. If it did, A flat, it would be a flat key, but it's just a regular old A, so that means that it has sharps. So the way we figure that out, again, we find A, boom, we skip over to the left, and then we're left with G, C, and F. So from the beginning, we have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, and that is our key signature. So we start off on A, and what we're going to do is we're going to build up our triad. So now we know that we have F sharp, we have C sharp, and we have G sharp. So now we know that. That's good. What we do next is we're going to go up a third from that bottom note. So we count up 3. 1, 2, 3. And I put my next note. That's my third. All right, cool. Next note is a fifth from the bottom. So you start on the bottom note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Now we have our fifth. This is a triad. But now you have to make it whatever it says. So first step, figure out the key signature. Second step, write out your triad. Just your structure for your triad. It's not finished. Might be finished, but it's not finished. But you have your structure. So first key signature, second structure. All right, we have our third, our fifth, we have our root, the bottom note, and we're ready to add in whatever it asks us to. So for major, what you need to do is write in the key signature. Major is pretty easy, a major chord. All you're going to do is write in whatever sharps or flats that you have. So pretty simple. So what we're going to do, we're going to write in F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp if we see them. The only thing we have in this chord, we have, what do we have? We have an A, then we have a C, and we have an E. So the only sharp we have to write in is C sharp. So we put a little sharp right before that C. We matched our key signature, wrote in F, C, and G sharps, and we're all set. So now this is a major chord, and that's it. So major is pretty nice. Major chords are pretty easy. You have 3 different options. You have major chords, minor chords, augmented chords, and diminished chords. 4. I can't count. But you have 4 different options. Major, minor, augmented, and diminished. And that's all your options for triads. This is a major triad. Let's do one more example, and then we'll do a separate video on inversions. So in the second example, we're going to take one from the sheet, and let's do an augmented. So we have our bass note, our bottom note. We're in bass clef. So this note right here is an F, and it's telling us that it wants us to make it augmented by that A. So we have to make it augmented. First step, figure out the key signature. So look at that bottom note, F, and figure out the key. F is weird. Don't forget F. Don't forget F. F is just one flat. It's one of the two that you have to memorize. First is F, one flat. Second is C. C has nothing. Nothing at all. C major, nothing. F major, one flat. B flat. That's it. So ours is one of the memorized ones. We look at that, we say, oh, F. I know that. It just has one flat. It's B flat. Boom. Done. Easy. So we know we have B flat. Second step, build our structure for the chord. So we write a third and then a fifth above. That's it. So we go 1, 2, 3. All right, got my third. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fifth. Done. So there's my structure. Second step done. Third step, do whatever it tells you. So it tells you to make it augmented. This is where things get a little weird. And here's a chart that can help you. This thing at the top is just something I wrote out, so you can use this if you want. I'm a really visual person, so seeing charts like this and layouts, it really helps me to understand it. So feel free to use this stuff, draw them in, or just picture them in your mind. This is the order of intervals and also chords. So the lowest possible chord, or the closest possible together chord, like the notes, they're closest as they possibly can be, is a diminished chord. That means that the intervals are really close together. There's not much space in between at all. So that's diminished. The next one up is minor. They're a little squished, but not as much as diminished. Major is our normal chord, ba-da-da, da-da-da, do, mi, sol. It's really nice, even. It's what we usually hear in major chords. That's nice and even. Augmented is a little bit farther apart. So you take the fifth and you actually raise it a half step, and it makes it farther apart. So we go from the most close together all the way until the most spaced apart. So that's just something that could help you out. Again, if you have a fourth or a fifth, it's not major, it's perfect. And this also works for unisons and octaves. So if you have one of those, it's perfect. That's for intervals. So you might have a perfect interval. There's only 3 options for perfect intervals. You can either be diminished if you go down a half step, or if you match the key signature, you're perfect. If you go up a half step, you're augmented. So that's for intervals, but feel free to use this. This helps me a lot. This bottom part is for chords. So this is how to map out or build any chord that you want. So you can have augmented, diminished, your major, and minor chords. So we have this one here, and it tells us that it has to be augmented. So what we do, we look at this sheet, or you'll remember it after a while. We have 3 different things that we need. We need a root, we need a major third, and an augmented fifth. So the root is the first note. Boom. We have our root. We're good. Done. The next thing we need is a major third. So we have to make this third right here, so from F up to A, major. We have to make sure that it matches the key signature. We know that F major only has B flat, and we look at this note, and it's an A natural. We don't have to do anything to A based on our key signature, so A, normal A, we're good. It matches the key signature. That means that it's major. So if you look at that, we put a uppercase M, means it's major. Feel free to write in these brackets. They help me a lot. You don't have to, but it does help to just see that visualization and know, okay, this is major, this is minor, this is augmented, what is this interval? It helps a lot. So we know this one is major. We have a major third. Next thing we need is an augmented fifth. To make something augmented, you take it up a half step from where the key would bring it. So say you have an F in F major. Say you have an F, and you want to make it augmented. You're going to take that F, which is normally in the key signature, regular F, and you're going to raise it to an F sharp. That's going to make it augmented. So what we're going to do is take this fifth note, which is a C. We know that it's normally a C. It's normally a C natural because we only have to change B's to B flats. And we look at this and we say, okay, C, that matches the key signature. That would be a perfect fifth, but I'm looking for an augmented fifth. I'm going to raise it a half step. So you take that C and you're going to raise it by putting a sharp in front of it. So now we have F to A, which is a major third, and then F to C sharp, which is an augmented fifth. That makes us have an augmented triad. So that's how you build those chords. All you want to do is take this chart right here, and it's like more interval practice. That's all it is. You're just building intervals on top of each other. But this time, you're stacking them. That's all it is. So if you did that interval chart, or that interval sheet, you have a lot of really good practice with that. And all you're doing is doing more of it on top of other notes. That's all stacking triads is. So use this chart. There's another picture of it on Schoology from Alex, which is great. So feel free to use that picture, use this chart, and build some triads. More videos coming soon on inversions. Good luck.